Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into another video. I know it's been a while, actually been quite busy these last few days, hanging around with my buddy, Gonsi, actually. So if you guys want to go check out his channel as well, he's also a YouTuber / streamer. I'm going to leave his links in the description so you guys can go and check it out. He has my seal of approval, trust me, he's a nice guy. Now, let's get into the subject. Now, I know that the title seems kind of clickbaity in a way, but it's not. I like and I dislike Ray at the same time, and I'm going to explain why. First of all, there's a little bit of a note here. If you guys go into the patch notes, unless it's already been fixed, you will see that I believe that it's the Restraint. It no longer does what it was supposed to be. Instead, they did a different thing. On the patch notes, it says something about a root after 3 seconds when linking to an enemy, and now it's basically just preventing them from healing when you use envelope, I don't know the right term, but basically it's like a mini dead zone. Now, this one seems cool to me. It's very good, especially to finish off some tanks if you do this, even if you're healing normally, but having this talent just like in the back of your pocket, almost like a normal Janus would heal without this new buff, but still goes like maybe like binary or the cripples, etc. You know what I mean? So there you go. But let's go into what I don't like about Ray, okay? For this purpose, I'm gonna go here with whatever loadout I was using for heals. I think this is the one. She already had a couple of changes. If you guys haven't checked it out, go on Twitter, search for Nico Ergo Sum or Nico Evil Mojo. I don't know exactly if he has two different Twitters now that I'm thinking of it, but I'll try to leave the link in the description. He dropped us a bunch of notes on things that were changed, including a change to this card that no longer has that big text. Instead, it just does a simple thing now, which actually heals you while you're linked to an ally. It will not heal you linked to an enemy, okay? It says it right there, to an ally. It's still okay. I mean, you can still heal with the right click. But see, since we're talking about this already, here's my first issue with Ray. Her right click is completely worthless when you're in a 1v1. If you have no ally near you, you got nothing you can do about it, right? The only thing you can do is normal attacks, do this, and maybe run away. But sorry, this for me just, at least in my playstyle, I don't like it. What I would love, however, is this talent here, Focus, and do bear with me here for a second. I'll explain why I don't like Focus. But what I would do is I would change completely the effect of Focus. Now, Focus, what it does is it doubles the amount of bounces that your chain heal does, but now it also bounces on enemies. Okay? But it also reduces the damage and the heals by half. So if it heals for 500, it's now only going to heal for 250. And if you hit an enemy with it, which it doesn't happen, but this would be a possibility for you to have a 1v1 much more fair, it would bounce on them, do less damage, and then would bounce back to you, and then again to them, etc., constantly bouncing, but it heals less. Instead of doubling the amount of bounces, just let bounce on enemies, but now it does half of its effect. That would be pretty simple and good, because, yeah, I know that we don't want this ability to be the same as the Shock Pulse from Grok, but, you know, hear me out here. It won't be, because it will still bounce to allies, to yourself. This would basically allow you to self-heal for a tiny bit while having a fight with somebody. Because the only good thing there is, at least in my opinion, to self-heal when you're in a 1v1 would be this card right there, right? Desperate Defense. It would heal for up to 250 when you use envelope. It's not even by every second, it's by the entire duration. So by itself already, it's not that good. Then the reduce the damage thing, it would only work if you have somebody to hit the bounce heals on somebody. You cannot do it on enemies right now. That's why I would like to have it, so you can have that damage reduction there. And then by having the effect cut in half, it wouldn't be too strong of heals, right? So you would only heal for half. And the only other good card I see here for heals is the one that got changed, but this only works on allies. So in a way, you're kind of screwed if you're in a 1v1. How many times have I found maybe I'm in the back, my team just pushed a little bit too much, or I have no view of them, right? And what happens is there's a Vatu that shows up. Even if I use my ability to run away, it doesn't save me. That's it. It just doesn't save me. Especially, for example, like against a Koga. Her ability, if you guys know what her ability is, the envelop, this, it reduces the damage to max 275. You can see it, it's the last one over there on the right. It has a 14-second cooldown. It increases your jump height and your speed, but a Koga does less damage per bullet than 275. So unless this gets changed to 275 per second, reduce the maximum amount of damage you can take to 275 per second instead of per instance of damage, then this is very bad when it comes to 1v1. If you're playing Ray, you're basically playing like a buffer, all right? You're not playing as a pocket, you're not playing as a main heal, you're playing as a buffer. You always need somebody, and you're constantly doing stuff to them so that you can have something back. But the moment you're alone, and the moment you want to, like, this is why I say not pocket, because for pockets, you got Genos and Corvus, they can even heal them through walls. And I don't have the mobility to go after a Vatu, a Maeve, or an Eevee, right? So how could this be a pocket? It can't. She is almost like a, let's say, a Torvald. Together with somebody, it gives them something, and you can even use cards to get something back. But when it's alone, then yeah, at least Torvald can take a lot more damage. But even so, removing that aside, I would do that for this talent. I would just remove his entire effect and actually allow me to bounce on enemies as well with my right click so that I can bounce between him and me, but half if it's effect, right? So if the heal, as it says there, the chain heal is 500, right? And you cannot even self-link, so you're not going to increase the amount of heals, and it gets halved. You're only healing for 250 per bounce. Plus you got cauterized, so it's not broken in a way, okay? That would be, at least for me, another fun way to play with Ray. But here's another one that I hate. I'm gonna try to use my ultimate right now, and well, as you can see, I can't use it, right? Now let's get close to an ally, because the ultimate is supposed to give immortality and heals to you and an ally. I got the heal symbol, but I can't use it on him. This is another instance of something that I hate. Another situation that I don't like, all right? Because this situation happens only with one other champion in the game, where you have to have a specific thing to be able to use your ultimate, which is Terminus. But Terminus dies, right? Here, you are trying to prevent from dying. Sometimes I've ulted not even to save my allies, but to save myself, right? So if I had the opportunity to use this ultimate without having to be linked to somebody, even if it did nothing else to anybody else but me, that would allow me to survive. Because her movement ability, it's not really a movement ability, it's just a little buff, right? You can buff an ally as well with it, but sometimes you'll use it on your own, correct? Correct. So, if I had the possibility of using the ultimate just the last second possible so I could save myself, damage immunity and heals, that can also be countered by cauterize, by the way, just before you think that it's too broken. If there's cauterize, the heals will not go as it's intended. During those 2 seconds, it's basically calculating how much heals it has to drop into that person. That's why it becomes damage immune, right? And then it basically just, boom, just throws those heals at that person of the amount of HP left. But if the person is being cauterized, then guess what? It's not going to work. So this ultimate is fairly good for something like maybe Fernando, maybe, when he's holding up his shield so he can stop the cauterize from touching him, and you can then use it. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe an ulting Ashe. She can still be cauterized, but not attacked. She does have damage immune on her ultimate, but she can still be cauterized. Unless you have some sort of a immortality ability, like Smolder from Zen, or maybe Emoji, Magic Barrier. or maybe I don't know, I'm at the top of my head, I also have a Fury, but like, as you can see, our ultimate, if not linked, I can't use it. So I can't save myself. That would be the downfall, that would be the con to using the ultimate by yourself, is that it would not help anybody else but yourself, so it would be like kind of waste, right? So people would have to do the choice, do I want to waste my ult on myself so I can continue to heal and still, you know, run away or something like that? Or do I want to use an ally and save my tank, or maybe something like that, right? Maybe save my tank. Remember, cauterize. So as you can see here, the right click not being able to be used on an enemy or the ultimate, to me, are big no-nos. But obviously, I'm not trying to reprehend or attack the developers, obviously. They did an amazing job with Ray. I'm just saying what would have felt nicer, especially for new players, since they did this character and I have this feeling that it was done and she's all cute and animalistic and etc. Mostly because they know that most players will want to play this character. So if we made her easier but not incredibly broken, it would be a lot more in place for people to just rush to play her, if you understand what I mean. So at least these are the changes that I would do. You also have a different variant to my ult idea, which would allow me to basically ult. Not ult if I'm not linked, still, okay. But if I am linked to an enemy, I'm gonna be able to ult. And what it does, it's maybe like a stun, or maybe like a 500 damage, or 250 damage, something like that. Maybe like a silence, or the iteration of the immortality that you have. Because you can still be cauterized. You are not going to be healed if you're being cauterized, right? So even if you use it to survive, you may not survive. It's those 2 seconds of immortality that are going to save you. So then you can use this and run away, right? So, in my honest opinion, these are the things, the cards, the talent, I would change this. I could leave Restraint here because I'm thinking of the talent that it's on the patch notes, and if the talent that it's on the patch notes would be here, it would at least have to have like the 6-second cooldown that they're talking about here. So maybe fusing it together, right? So you will root a person after 3 seconds of being linked to them on an enemy, but it takes a 6-second cooldown after that root is done. Like, it will break the chain, and then you have a 6-second cooldown, right? And this would allow people to run away. They have like, what, 3 seconds until the root would happen. And so they would back out, break the chain, and survive, not having the root. And now Ray has another 6-second cooldown to be able to do another root. So you can see here the idea. It's not completely broken. You can still be reduced by the 6 seconds because you can go with the Chronos to reduce those 6 seconds. Or maybe not. Maybe it could not be even changed. That's up to them if they can do that or not. Because, for example, the portals of Dredge did not get affected by Chronos. If you guys never noticed that. The only thing that gets affected by Chronos is the initial deploy. And the time between after you use a portal, those 10 seconds or whatever it is, it will not be reduced. Unless they already changed that. I may be wrong. Either way, ultimate being able to be used on enemies or just by yourself or both, and have some sort of an effect on enemies if you're doing the link to an enemy. Completely just change this talent, and now I'm going to explain why I hate this talent. I tried this talent yesterday just to see how good it could be as for heals, and I guarantee you this is not a healing talent, this is a damage talent. Because even if you take this, and you take this card right there to increase the amount of heals, Cauterize is still going to shut it down. And not just that, it is so hard to link to a specific target when there's a bunch of them all together, right? So, like, if you want to ult, you have to link to the right person. Otherwise, you have a 6-second cooldown. You're not going to be able to link to another person in those 6 seconds. So you can't do anything. Like, you want to save that Fernando from dying, but you ended up by just, like, let me see if I can actually do it here. Like, I'm trying to, sometimes it will, right now it's showing him. But how many times am I looking at him and it will look at the Cassie? Right now, for example, it will work. I think they actually probably may have changed something. in order to make it a little bit more viable. But even then, like, if you miss your target and you try to ult, that's another problem with the ult. You're not gonna be able to save this person. And sometimes you'll not even be able to use the ultimate. Sometimes there's another ally right next to you, and then you're going to use the ultimate on that person, not on this person. This person died, and that person didn't need it. All right? So these are my ideas to what I would change on Rey. Nonetheless, she looks very fun and very awesome. I liked her. She's not as strong as a Ceres for heals, and she's not as strong as a damage Grok, let's say like that, or a pip damage. But she's right in the middle. If she takes a secondary healer with her, maybe like a Janus or something, she can be very, very powerful because of the speed that she can give. Like, again, like I'm saying, she's a buffer in my opinion. Even her cards suggest that, right? Like, you got a card that reduces damage to you, but you also have a card that will increase ultimate charge to you and anyone it bounces on. This would be a card that would have to be changed, by the way, in case you ended up doing the now you can bounce on enemies thing, because it could potentially give the effect to the enemies as well. So that would not be very good, not very viable. Might as well just take that card away if you're trying to do that. And then, like, for example, another one, this one grants 50% reload speed, more healing with your link, linking to your new target, what else? Yeah, I know that there's a bunch of different ways to do so. But again, the 6-second cooldown talent on the link, pretty bad in my opinion. Never gonna play with it again, unless I'm doing damage. That's, for me, that's the only good thing it can work with, because, and do pay attention, this is the amount of damage it's going to do, which is 750, and then you can just go ahead and basically like 4-shot, if not 3-shot, depending on if anybody else already hit it. If not, you have to hit 5 shots to be able to kill somebody. But if you do this, you're raising the amount of DPS you're doing, and look at that. You're gonna kill that person so much easier. So that's a damage talent. That's not a healing talent. Don't try to use that for heals. But the thing is, if you're going damage, you have to have an ally to be able to ult or right-click, so you're always screwed. Alright, so these are my ideas. This is my feedback. I hope nobody gets offended by anything. I still love the character nonetheless. I also want to hear your feedback, you guys' feedback. Go in the comment section down below, please, and let me know what you would change or what you think it's right or not. I'm not talking about values of cards. I'm mostly talking about maybe just like a change to the talents or her abilities. This is actually like a top tier change, not just a random little, oh, this card should be buffed or nerfed. No, screw that. The only card that I had an issue with was the one that would heal only when linked to an ally, because if you're fighting an enemy, you cannot right click, and this card will not heal you either if you're linked to the enemy. So this doesn't even, like, how do I say, encourage you to link to an enemy. It's completely doing the opposite. So I don't know about you guys, this is my feedback. I hope nobody gets offended again or mad at me because of what I'm saying. This is literally just me being honest and giving my feedback before the character goes into live servers. Maybe it will go through, maybe it will not go through. I'm still going to collect all of this, type it on a paper or something like that, and I'm going to send it to a couple of devs and maybe on different spots on Discord for feedback, etc. And hopefully this video will also reach out to them, or even just, you know, start a brainstorm ideas here, an idea brainstorm here with you guys, so we can sort of like see whether I'm right or wrong, whether there's better ideas or my ideas are too strong or too worse or something like that. You understand what I'm saying? Basically, I just want to be able to, you know, brainstorm the ideas of Rey. Okay, so pretty much this is it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm coming up with another video soon enough about Rey, where I'm basically gonna be trying to do a massive amount of heals, the max possible. I have a loadout for that already, so I'm gonna try to do the max possible as a solo healer, doing the best I can. But I'm going to show you how that is hard to do, because it's not that viable. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss those future videos. I'm also coming up with a Vora tutorial soon enough on 2 different parts, the basic and the advanced guide. And then, you know, also drop a like and a comment, because of the entire algorithm of YouTube. You guys already know how that goes, because YouTube is I can't say word. I can't say myth. that mean words. YouTube is listening. They will basically just take away the monetization of this video. That's not cool, is it? All right, but either way, thank you so much for watching. I'll be streaming on my own channel on Twitch, Kreepers YT, easy to find. There's a link with all my social media in there. And if I'm not there or even doing videos here, search me up on the Paladins game channel. I'm usually streaming all the time over there, so hey, I'll see you there. Bye-bye, guys.